In this video, we'll be talking about Hurricane Ian as it's a Category 2 and is forecast to impact parts of the United States in Florida near Tampa Bay. Welcome everybody, my name is Shumam, and if you're living in Tampa Bay down to 4 miles, please stop being prepared. Evacuate if you can. It's going to be a major historic potential storm surge for the city of Tampa Bay, but we're talking to you guys about Hurricane Ian, which is currently a Category 2 with winds at 100 miles per hour with a pressure of 972, continues to move to northwest at 13 miles per hour, and the pressure keeps dropping, which means this hurricane is forecasted to continue to rapidly intensify, maybe even becoming a major hurricane at landfall. So we'll be looking here at the National Hurricane Center. I'll be first showing you guys the warnings and cones for you guys to see. And as you can see here, the pink is the hurricane warning from Florida, just near the Big Bend regions. You got hurricane watches, hurricane warnings are right here from Tampa down to 4 miles. You got the hurricane watches up north in the Big Bend region, and then if you're by 4 miles south to Key West, you are also in a tropical storm watch. And all this region is also in a storm surge warning, where we'll show you guys how much storm surge is potential for this area. Alright everybody, so when we look at the peak storm surge, this is very devastating to see that near Tampa Bay, they have not got hit by a major hurricane for over 50 to 75 years. And what they're about to see potentially could be catastrophic to maybe historic in the Tampa Bay region. So if you're living in the Tampa Bay region, if you're in low-lying area, if you're out west of Tampa Bay, I would be really start planning in your evacuation zone. Start to Hillsborough County. You start to start boarding things up, because it's about to be very bad, especially St. Petersburg, Clearwater, and the Tampa Bay, because what Tampa Bay is, it's in a bay, and you have couple of these, the ocean sticks out here with some rivers, and it's very inundated to flooding, and with a storm that could be coming in just west of Tampa Bay, it will put the southwest floor, which will just be pushing in water into Tampa Bay, and they're expecting 5 to 10 feet of storm surge. I think more like 8 feet is a reasonable guess, but they could get up to 10 feet, depending how slow, because the models have been hinting they could stall for a couple of hours. And then from Tampa Bay, from near 4 miles, you could see 4 to 7 feet, and in the Big Bend region, another area, 2 to 4 to up to 5 days. This region right here, I'm very worried, because that's a very low-lying area, and they can easily get some major catastrophic storms. I mean, anything over 3 feet is catastrophic, and if you get more than that, it is historic and very dangerous. So now we're going to be showing you guys, also what we're going to be showing you guys is the winds probabilities. You guys can be preparing you guys for the Tampa Bay. We're going to be focusing you guys in Tampa Bay for you pretty much at 100% chance, 90% chance for a tropical storm force wind gust to be coming. And if you look at a hurricane speed, already you are forecasting about a 60 to 70% chance for a hurricane force wind gusts in the Tampa Bay area. I'm focusing on Tampa Bay because that's where the model's been hinting. I've not been recording a video because I've been gone, and since then we were talking about maybe the Florida Peninsula. Now, maybe the Florida Peninsula, they've shifted a little bit more east, which is going to be worse because the storm's going to be stronger. But we'll show you guys why there's a chance that it could weaken down to Category 2 and maybe not be a major hurricane at landfall. So we're going to be looking at here tropical tidbits weather forecast. We're looking at the ensemble. The latest ensemble has been shifting it west. We were showing you some models hinting maybe over here in Pensacola, Panama City, and now they've been shifting more and more, and majority of them are hinting near Tampa Bay or just south Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is going to be the main spot to be worried about, but anyone in the west coast of Florida should need to be taking this very seriously, because it potential could be a rapid intensification. We don't know how strong it will be, but it will be a major hurricane with devastation in this area, and Tampa Bay have not been hit by a hurricane in a long time. So now I'll be taking you guys at one more thing we'll look at, which will be the intensity forecast. So as you can see here, rapid intensification continues to forecast with Category 3. Majority of the models are still hinting a strong Category 4, 140, 145 mile per hour storm before it starts to decrease, and in about 72 hours is roughly when it'll make landfall. Maybe plus or minus 12 hours, but that's the landfall time. But it's going to decrease because there'll be some more shear and potentially dry air, which is crazy because if you look at southeast Louisiana, I'll pull you guys right now very quickly. If you go to southwest Louisiana and the Mississippi area, they're in a fire watch, which red flag warning, which means with dry air, and there'll be a cold front that'll be coming in, which could which could weaken, in which most of the models, including the National Hurricane Center, is predicting. Alright, everybody, now we'll be looking at the model runs. We'll be looking at a few model runs and show you guys how it will be impacting the Florida region. So we're going to be going at the West Atlantic to indicate Florida. So we're going to be looking at the GFS like we always do. Let's get stuck with the GFS. So GFS is predicting this is about roughly 7 p.m., which is 24 hours from tomorrow. This is 7 p.m. Expecting rapid intensification with a Category 3, maybe even a Category 4 near landfall. And this model run is a little bit overdone like it's been, but it's been more reliable than the European model or other models. So we're going to take this with a grain of salt. And it's forecasting it to stall near Tampa Bay before it makes landfall just north of Tampa Bay in the Big Bend region. And it'll move itself in. Another thing we gotta talk about is the amount of rainfall Tampa Bay is expecting, and anywhere in western Florida is expecting. So we'll be looking at this. Look at that, 8 to 12 inches plus, in anywhere from the Big Bend south of Apalachicola, Panama City down to Tampa Bay. You could easily see 8 to 12, maybe as much as 20 inches of rain, because this storm is gonna slow down and it's gonna churn in a lot of rainfall. And if it slows down near west of Tampa Bay, you have the storm surge plus the flooding, which means the storm surge won't be able to run off because everything's clogged. So it'll be very devastating impacts for Tampa Bay. Alright, so now we're going to be looking at another model on, but let's quickly show you guys why this is. We'll look at another model on, which will be the Canadian model, and see what the Canadian model is saying. Canadian model is a little bit more west bias, and it's going to bring a little bit more west, and according to the Canadian model, it is going to be sheared to the south with a trough, and if it takes more of a westerly impact, it'll be a weaker storm system, because I'll show you guys in the European model what they're showing you, but it is a weaker storm system because there will be a lot of shear cutting it from the south, as well as dry air, which I'll show you guys really quickly. I'll go with this one. You can see right here, there's a lot of dry air coming in from the south, which will limit it for it to strengthen. The dry air is the brown, the green is the more moist air. So we might be finding some dry air and a trough that's coming in, which is what we were talking about a few minutes ago with the fire watches for southeast Louisiana. And this makes landfall in Pensacola, Panama City, as a possibly Category 1. But we'll have to wait and see. This is a lot west, and I expect the Canadian model to trend more east. I don't see this happening. I see more of an easterly track, as we'll show you guys with the ICON model and then the European model. So this is the ICON model. ICON model is also a little bit more west, but recent model runs I've been seeing has been trending a little bit east. And it's gonna make landfall tonight as a Category 2, maybe even a Category 3 hurricane over Cuba, and it'll rapidly intensify into a major hurricane. This will be a Category 4, and it'll make landfall right here as a potential Category 4 just south of Tampa Bay, which is going to be devastating impacts over Florida. But another thing is, I don't see this as far as a right-hand turn. It might be more like going here and then take the right-hand turn, but I don't know. This is a quick, sharp turn to the east as it goes over Orlando as a hurricane, and then makes its way hugging the east coast and potentially making another landfall. That's too far to think about in here. I don't know, Charleston, South Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina. And so let's go back and show you guys what these guys are showing. Then we're going to looking guys at the rainfall as well. So we'll quickly show you guys how much rainfall Tampa Bay will be This one's a little quicker, so this will be a worse. I think this will be better for Tampa Bay if they get this, but it's gonna be a lot quicker, but it's gonna be devastating impacts for Tampa Bay. And again, there's 8 to 12 inches with maybe 20 inches of rain near Tampa Bay. This will impact even the Space Coast, Melbourne, as well as Orlando. But if you're in Tampa Bay, I need you to be prepared right now. Take shelter if you're in Sarasota, Hillsborough County. Evacuate if you can, especially if you're in St. Petersburg. Alright, now we'll be looking at the European model, and then we'll show you guys where the watches and warnings will be up closer. Alright, this is the European model. Again, a little bit of a weaker storm system as it makes over Cuba, Category 2 and maybe Category 3. And this one is a little bit more west, but this one, the GFS and the Canadian, GFS and the European one, which is a really reliable, two of the most reliable one. As you can see, this is Wednesday morning, and this is Thursday morning. Barely moved anywhere. Maybe 100 miles, maybe 150 miles. And since it's very close to Tampa with a major hurricane, this will be putting southwest winds into Tampa Bay, which will cause major flooding, historic storm surge, because Tampa Bay has not been hit by a major hurricane. And then it will stall and then make landfall as late as Friday, which is what some of the hurricane centers saying, that we might see landfall late Thursday. I mean, it's Monday and it's already going to make landfall in Cuba. It's by Thursday it might make landfall. We're expecting landfall near Tampa Bay before it makes landfall and impacts up near Tallahassee before it makes its way inland. How much rainfall is Tampa Bay expecting once again? Let's show you guys a look at that. This one's just offshore with the 12 to 20, but overall just be prepared for 8 to 12 with up to 20 inches rain for the Tampa Bay area. So now we're going to be quickly go to National Hurricane. We're going to go to National Weather Service so you guys can zoom in to so you guys see where the watches and warnings are currently located for this time for Florida. So as you can see here, we're going to be looking at Central Florida first. We got hurricane warnings from Tampa Bay to just outside Sarasota, as well as storm warnings from Tampa Bay, including Sarasota down to Fort Myers. And then we got storm surge watch up north. And then we got some tropical storm watches and hurricane watches in the East Coast and the South. So for everybody, if you guys have family or anybody in near Fort Myers, Key West, up to Pensacola, but especially even in the Tampa Bay area, Sarasota, St. Petersburg area, please no evacuation zone right now. If you have to evacuate as soon as you can, and board up and be prepared for a major hurricane making landfall near Tampa Bay. So guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for all the support you guys have been giving us, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another update where we'll show you guys what the trends are. Trends not looking good. It's more of an easterly trend. We'll see if the models continue. So guys, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. Stay safe and goodbye.